Hey guys, Mike here, back with another Blu-ray unboxing and review video, and in this installment we're going to be taking a look at Scream Factory's highly anticipated Vincent Price Blu-ray collection. Now this collection doesn't street until October 22nd, but I'm here to give you guys a really nice unboxing of the collection, as well as a review of the films, their technical specifications, as well as a look at the great, juicy special features. So before we get into all that, let's go ahead and unbox this thing. Now, as you can see, I really want to take note of this great cover art that's been drafted by Joel Robinson. This is the first time that he's worked with Scream Factory, but I'm sure plenty of you genre fans know his work for Horror Hound magazine. The guy just does phenomenal work, and if this cover is anything to go by, you can see that the guy is crazy talented. That's a really beautiful likeness of Vincent Price, joined by two beautiful classic-looking women on the side. This is just a great cover that captures the tone and the spirit of the films that you're going to be finding in this collection. Just really solid stuff. I'm going to give you guys a shot of the spine. As you can see, it says in bold, this is a 4 Blu-ray set encompassing 6 of Vincent Price's most iconic films. You get the Scream Factory logo on there, as well as a shot of the MGM logo. And then when you switch it over to the back, you have a nice little layout of all 6 of the films that are in this set, with the one-sheet poster art, which is great, as well as all of the special features that you'll find with each film, and rest assured there are a ton of them. So really nice handling of this. I like it. I think it looks really solid. Joel Robinson did a phenomenal job with this cover art. I really love it. So let's go ahead and get into the box. As you slide this out, it is you pull this out, and it's a heftier Blu-ray set to keep the 4 discs in there. And if you notice on the Blu-ray case on the inside, the cover art is slightly different. The beautiful women that you saw on the front on the slipcover are no longer there, but it's just skeletons of them. So it's a cool, subtle little little thing that Joel Robinson threw in there that I really liked. I remember when this cover art was first unveiled, I thought that it was going to be a bit of like a holographic or lenticular cover art that was going to give it that effect, but nonetheless the effect is there. It's just on the Blu-ray case on the inside, but it's cool. It's a very nice, subtle effect, and I like it a lot. Again, flipping it over, it just kind of gives you, again, another overview of the films that are going to be in this set, as well as the special features, just no images of the poster art yet again. And let's go ahead and crack this box open for you guys. Like I said, this is a 4-disc Blu-ray set, and then on the first disc, as you can see, you have The Pit and the Pendulum and The Masque of the Red Death. And then when you go over to disc 2, you can see that it's The Haunted Palace and the Fall of the House of Usher. Flipping it over, you have the Abominable Dr. Phibes on its own disc, and then finally you have Witchfinder General, aka the Conqueror Worm, on disc 4, all on its own. So I really like this this packaging. It's a really nice, sturdy Blu-ray case that holds these discs together. Really well constructed, very well made. I like it a lot. I think it really did a phenomenal job. And then when you go on the inside, you have a really great booklet, again, utilizing the same cover art with the women that's found on the slipcover. A really great 24-page booklet in here that comes with an essay by film historian David Del Valle, who's also seen on the special features for a few of these films. And just to give you guys a shot of the inside, this is a really great essay that he wrote on Vincent Price and the films that you'll be seeing in this collection. Really great stuff, a really terrific read. David Del Valle is a wonderful film historian, really knows his stuff with genre titles. He's appeared on a few other releases this year, including The House of Wax, as well as Scorpion releasings. Most recent releases for The Tower of Evil, as well as The Monster Club, again starring Vincent Price. So, this essay goes on quite a few pages, but then once you hit towards the back end, it kind of goes through each film individually, and you get a nice shot of, the one-sheet poster art, foreign poster art, stills from the film itself, as well as the release date, the talent involved. There's a great shot of The Pit and the Pendulum. Moving on, you have The Haunted Palace, which is one of my favorites in this collection. I actually have this original one-sheet poster in mint condition. It's one of my prized possessions. But another great spread for The Haunted Palace. Moving forward, again, you get Masque of the Red Death, that great one-sheet poster art with Vincent Price's red face on there. Onward, you have, of course, Witchfinder General. with you know, a UK quad poster for the Conqueror Worm. And then finally, you have the Abominable Dr. Phibes with that great Art Deco poster art, and again, some stills from the film. On the back end, you just get some special thankses, Blu-ray credits for Cliff McMillan, as well as Joel Robinson, special thanks to David Del Valle. So again, this is a nice little overview of the whole package that you're going to be getting for this Vincent Price collection. Overall, it's really good stuff. So let's go ahead and get into the actual films themselves. Now, like I said, this is a 4-disc Blu-ray set, and on the first disc, you are going to get The Pit and the Pendulum and The Masque of the Red Death. Both of these films look absolutely phenomenal. You have to remember, all these films are from 50 years or more ago, so taking that into consideration, you're going to be blown away at how great these films look. I mean, of course there's going to be minor, very, very minor cases of some scratches and debris in the print, but nothing that takes away from the overall viewing experience of the films themselves. All of these films look great. Colors are popping. You know, grain is very much intact. Black levels look great. You know, again, the colors just pop in this. These lavish sets. You know, the use of all the colorful lighting that they were using in some of these films. Everything just looks so phenomenal. It's like seeing these films for the first time. It's just a remarkable job that Scream Factory did, and I think that it's a real credit to how, you know, how well these materials had to have been handled. Like I said, there's going to be, you know, minor cases of scratches and debris in these, but none of these look bad. The second disc, again, is Haunted Palace and The Fall of the House of Usher. And again, these look great. You know, I have no complaints on any of these films. You know, they all have the same sort of scratches and debris, but nothing that's going to take away from you watching them. Once you get to disc 3, The Abominable Dr. Phibes, again, it's a more recent film in comparison to the ones from the early 60s and mid-60s. This is from 1971, so I would say overall, The Abominable Dr. Phibes does look the best out of them, and I think that, you know, you just really get to appreciate so much of all these, you know, Art Deco colors and these really wild sets. So overall, I think that the print looks the best on The Abominable Dr. Phibes. And then, of course, finally on disc 4, you have a Witchfinder General, which looks good. You know, just as good as the earlier films like The Haunted Palace and Pit and the Pendulum, but I think it's a little softer, but I think that that has more to do with the, you know, the intent of how it was shot, and, you know, just the outdoor shooting and the outdoor lighting that was utilized for a lot of the exterior scenes, but again, nothing that takes away. It's just not as, you know, I don't think that it jumps out at you like the earlier films do, but all of these films look great. The colors look phenomenal. Grain's intact. The sound is really phenomenal on all of them. There's, you know, great DTS master audio tracks on here, which all sound great. No hisses or pops. Dialogue comes across as clear as can be. The sound, all the great gothic scores in these films come across loud and booming over your speakers, and that's, you know, the most you can ask for with, you know, scores as powerful and dominating as they are in these films. So everything sounds really, really wonderful on them. Audio and visual looks just absolutely phenomenal. I could not be more pleased with how the films have been presented and preserved in this collection. Now moving on to probably one of the juiciest packagings as far as special features that Scream Factory has ever done. Let's go ahead and get right into it. As far as The Pit and the Pendulum, you have an introduction by Vincent Price, and this is something that I actually want to talk about a little more in depth. You're going to see on a few of the films in this collection, there are intros and outros by Vincent Price, and they were shot for the Iowa Public Television, rather, in the early 80s. It was a segment of, it was like a 12-episode segment that he shot for Iowa Public Television, and he did all these really great intros and outros for the films that were being presented on this, you know, Vincent Price Gothic Horror series, and they're great. I mean, they're presented in standard def. They certainly look tape-sourced, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you know, you get, from the first time you pop in Pit and the Pendulum, you really start to look forward to these intros and outros on these discs, and I mean, this is just such a great, you know, charming little gem that Scream Factory included, because had they not, I mean, these things probably would have just collected dust and dust before they just deteriorated to hell, and they probably would have just been long forgotten. So it's a really great treat that they're on here and preserved, because Vincent Price is just phenomenal. I mean, the words just flow out of his mouth. I mean, the guy has so much charisma and so much, you know, showmanship in these intros and outros that they're such a joy to look forward to, and they're just wonderful to check out. So it's a really cool time capsule, you know, featurette that Scream Factory included on here. So they're included on a few of the films, but again, back to the special features on The Pit and the Pendulum. You have an intro and outro by Vincent Price. You have an audio commentary by producer director Roger Corman, as well as a theatrical trailer. On Masque of the Red Death, you have, again, the intro and outros by Vincent Price. You have an interview with director Roger Corman, which runs for about 18 minutes. It's a good watch. You have an audio commentary with author Steve Haberman, as well as a theatrical trailer. On The Haunted Palace, again, you have an introduction and outro by Vincent Price, as well as an audio commentary by authors Lucy Chase Williams and Tom Weaver. A Change of Poe, an interview with producer-director Roger Corman, which, again, is another cool interview piece on here. As you can tell, the features on here are a mix of old and new, some great stuff that was ported over from previous releases, as well as new stuff like those intros and outros that I've been mentioning. And then finally, on The Haunted Palace, you have the theatrical trailer. Moving on to The Fall of the House of Usher, you have an introduction and outro by Vincent Price, as well as an audio commentary by Roger Corman, an audio interview with Vincent Price conducted by film historian David Delval, who again was responsible for that great essay that's found in the 24-page booklet in this set. That is a great interview from, I believe, the mid to late 80s, and it's like an hour long. Phenomenal stuff talking about Vincent Price's, you know, reigning career as this horror icon. It's a wonderful watch, so I really, really have to, you know, sell that one to you guys. In addition, you have a Vincent Price retrospective commentary by author Lucy Chase Williams featuring Peter Michael, as well as a theatrical trailer. The Abominable Dr. Phibes, which is probably some of the coolest stuff. You have an audio commentary with the late director Robert Fuest, which was recorded a few years ago by Severin Films, and Scream Factory made a deal with them to include it on this great Vincent Price collection. So that's a wonderful addition for Phibes, you know, especially knowing that the director is no longer with us. So awesome to have on here. In addition, you have another audio commentary by Justin Humphries and the theatrical trailer. And then finally, on Witchfinder General, which personally, if there had to be a weak link as far as film preferences in this set, I think Witchfinder General would have to be it for me. All of the other films I love immensely. I think that they're great. They're just these great gothic horror films that I love. Vincent Price just steals the show in every single film. I love all of them, but Witchfinder General just never really, you know, it just never really whet my appetite, and, you know, checking it out again after many years, I still feel the same way with it, because it's not so much a horror film as it is more of like a historical drama, but nonetheless, Vincent Price, even on the intro and outro, which is included on Witchfinder General, he talks about how the character that he plays in Witchfinder General is, you know, without a doubt, the most sadistic character he's ever played in his entire career. And I'm going to have to agree with him. I mean, it is a vile character, and it's rooted in truth, too, the character that he's playing. So I will agree with Mr. Price that it's definitely the most vile of characters. Just overall, the movie is, you know, it's just doesn't really hold a candle to the other films in this collection, at least to me. But that said, you do have a slew of special features, including the intro and outros by Vincent Price, like I just mentioned, as well as an audio commentary by producer Philip Wadalove and actor Ian Egwivley. I hope I'm not butchering his name. Witchfinder General, Michael Reeves' horror classic featurette, an interview with Vincent Price conducted again by film historian David Delval, a theatrical trailer, additional Vincent Price theatrical trailers, introductory Price, undertaking the Vincent Price Gothic Horrors, which is a cool new featurette where the producer of those intro and outros from the Iowa Public Television, you know, Vincent Price segment, he's interviewed about the work and, you know, how that all kind of came to be back in the 80s. It's a really cool piece, especially starting from the beginning of this set and really kind of loving, you know, coming to love these intros and outros. It's great to kind of have, you know, a retrospective piece on that from the producer of those. And then finally, you have a wonderful, like, 45-minute interview with Vincent Price's daughter, Victoria Price. It's a really great, charming interview with his daughter that talks about not only, you know, the actor and the showman Vincent Price, but the father, Vincent Price. So that's a really great, you know, charming featurette, so I really highly suggest that you guys check that one out. Overall, guys, that sums up the Vincent Price Blu-ray collection. Again, the release date for this is October 22nd, so be sure to lock your pre-orders in. So to kind of sum this up, overall, breaking it down into different subdivisions. To give it a rating as far as the movies themselves, I'm going to have to give this a 5 out of 5, although I do find Witchfinder General to be a bit of a weak link, but, you know, it's Price's performance in that film alone just makes this, you know, a worthy C, but all the other films involved in this are some of, you know, Vincent Price's finest work as an actor, so absolutely, without a doubt, the films in this, the quality of them, get a 5 out of 5. The video quality on these get a 4.5 out of 5 from me. Like I said, there are minor, you know, little issues of, you know, dirt and debris on this, but that has more to do with the fact that these are 50-plus-year-old films. But, you know, overall, the colors look, you know, unbelievably bold and bright. Black levels look good. Grain is firmly intact. So just those minor things, but it's still a solid 4.5 out of 5 for me. As well as the audio tracks on these, the DTS Master Audios, sound absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, no hissing or pops in this. Dialogue comes across as clear as can be. The scores sound loud and vibrant. So again, this gets another solid 4.5 out of 5 for me. As well as the special features. All those special features that I just ratted off for you, there's nothing I can say other than, you know, a 5 out of 5 for this. I mean, this is just one of Scream Factory's most stacked releases. Not only do you get, you know, a plethora of classic Vincent Price films, they're all stacked to the brim with quality special features. So, without a doubt, these special features get a 5 out of 5 for me. As well as for packaging, I really like the packaging on this. I like the slipcover. I think that the great sturdy Blu-ray case on this is gonna, you know, really win people over. It's simple, and, you know, simplicity works for everybody. This is going to sit, you know, nice and comfortably on your Blu-ray shelves. It doesn't take up a lot of shelf space. It gets the job done, so this gets an easy 5 out of 5 for me. Overall, I'm going to have to give this collection a perfect score of 5 out of 5. This hands down goes, you know, this goes down as my favorite Scream Factory release to date, which is saying a lot considering the wealth of titles that they've been pumping out month after month after month. But, you know, this is a perfect collection to add into any horror fan's library, especially with Halloween coming upon this. I cannot recommend this collection enough. 5 out of 5, guys. Well, that concludes this Blu-ray unboxing and review video. Again, this comes out October 22nd from Scream Factory, so please place your pre-orders to lock this in. Thank you guys for tuning into this, you know, obviously fantastic Blu-ray unboxing and review, and be sure to tune in for my next Blu-ray unboxing review where we take a look at another highly anticipated Shout Factory box set, the Bruce Lee Legacy Collection. Now in this collection, it's going to be including The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, The Way of the Dragon, and Game of Death, as well as 3 documentaries, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for the Blu-ray unboxing and review of this epic box set. Well guys, that concludes this Blu-ray unboxing and review video. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.